The universe is vast and complex, governed by laws of physics we're still trying to comprehend. Sometimes the most improbable things happen. We call them coincidences, moments when unrelated events align. As a scientist, I deal with evidence and probability. Even the most unlikely events can occur given enough time. But then, a novel predicts the Titanic's sinking 14 years before. Or two US presidents assassinated decades apart, sharing specific details. Are these random quirks, or is there something more? Forces we don't understand weaving patterns through history. Get ready to be amazed. Before we dive into these mind-blowing historical coincidences, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. We've got tons of fascinating stories that you won't want to miss. And if you love a good mystery, stick around. Things are about to get interesting. Let's delve into one of the most famous and chilling sets of coincidences in American history, the eerie parallels between the assassinations of Presidents Abraham Lincoln and John F. Kennedy. Both were tragically shot on a Friday, each falling victim to an assassin's bullet that pierced their brain. Adding to the unsettling symmetry, both were accompanied by their wives at the time of the assassination. Now hold on to your hats because it gets even stranger. Lincoln had a personal secretary named Kennedy, while Kennedy had a secretary named Lincoln. Both presidents were succeeded by their vice presidents, both named Johnson. Our next stop takes us from the battlefields of history to the icy depths of the North Atlantic. The RMS Titanic, a marvel of engineering, was deemed practically unsinkable. Yet we all know how that story tragically unfolded. In 1898, a novella titled Futility by Morgan Robertson was published. This fictional story featured a colossal ocean liner named the Titan. Both ships were hailed as the largest of their time and met their demise due to icebergs. Tamerlane the Great, a name that strikes fear and awe into the hearts of historians and conquerors alike. This 14th century Turco-Mongol warlord carved a bloody path across Asia, leaving millions dead in his wake. But his reign of terror ended centuries ago, right? Well, in 1941, Soviet archaeologists decided to unearth his final resting place, a magnificent tomb in Samarkand. Now legend had it that disturbing Tamerlane's tomb would unleash a curse, a calamity of unimaginable proportions. And some say those warnings weren't just superstitious ramblings. Just days after the tomb's opening, Hitler, defying all expectations and possibly sanity, launched Operation Barbarossa, the largest invasion in human history, targeting the Soviet Union. Coincidence, perhaps, but the timing is, shall we say, astronomically improbable. Was this a chilling example of an ancient curse rearing its head, or just a case of incredibly bad timing? It's enough to make you wonder if some secrets are best left buried. The assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand in Sarajevo, 1914. A shot rings out, a domino falls, and the world plunges into the chaos of World War I. But what if I told you that this event, often considered the spark of the Great War, had an eerie connection to its end? Let's talk about license plates, or more specifically, the Archduke's car's license plate. It read, A3118. Nothing strange there, right? Just a random sequence. But hold on. The armistice, the agreement that finally silenced the guns of World War I, was signed on November 11, 1918, 11/11/18. See the connection? A 3118 could be interpreted, with a little creative license plate interpretation, as August, the third month, 1918. Spooky, right? Was this a bizarre premonition, a message encoded in metal, or just a random string of numbers and letters given meaning by the relentless human need for patterns? Edgar Allan Poe, the master of the macabre. His stories drip with suspense and terror, but was Poe more than just a writer? Could he have tapped into something beyond our understanding? In 1838, Poe published The Narrative of Arthur Gordon Pym, a chilling story of shipwreck and cannibalism. Years later, a real-life shipwreck mirrored Poe's novel. The ship's name, location, and even the name Richard Parker were eerily similar. Did Poe peer into the future, or was it just a coincidence? The vast, unforgiving ocean. A place of immense power and mystery, countless ships swallowed throughout history. But what are the odds of 3 separate shipwrecks, each spanning centuries, having only one survivor? And all 3 survivors bearing the same name? Hugh Williams? In 1666, a Hugh Williams survived a shipwreck off Wales. In 1772, another Hugh Williams survived a shipwreck on the English Channel. In 1885, a Hugh Williams survived a shipwreck in the Detroit River. 3 centuries, 3 ships, 3 Hugh Williamses, all defying the odds and surviving the sea. Mark Twain, the celebrated American author, known for his wit and stories. Did you know he had a peculiar relationship with Halley's Comet? Twain was born in 1835, the same year Halley's Comet appeared. It returns every 76 years. Twain quipped, "I came in with Halley's Comet in 1835. It is coming again next year, and I expect to go out with it." In 1910, Halley's Comet returned, and Twain passed away. Was it a self-fulfilling prophecy or cosmic synchronicity? The Lincoln family, forever etched in American history, faced a series of tragedies. We know Abraham Lincoln's assassination, a nation in mourning. But what about his son, Robert Todd Lincoln? He witnessed 3 presidential assassinations. Robert was at Ford's Theater the night his father was shot. He was also present at President James Garfield's assassination, and he arrived late to meet President McKinley, missing his assassination. 3 presidents, 3 assassinations, and Robert Todd Lincoln, a living link to each tragedy. The Hoover Dam, an engineering marvel, a testament to human ingenuity. Yet some believe it's cloaked in tragedy, haunted by a curse. The first fatality during its construction, J.G. Tierney, died on December 20, 1922. And here's the chilling part, it was Patrick Tierney, J.G.'s son. Coincidence? Maybe. Or are we, as humans, predisposed to find patterns, even where none exist? Ponder that. The Simpsons, that animated family from Springfield, has been entertaining us for decades. But did you know they've also been predicting the future? A series of uncanny coincidences, predictions that have come true with startling accuracy. Remember when Donald Trump announced his presidency? Back in 2000, The Simpsons aired an episode depicting Trump running for office. They also predicted Greece's economy collapsing. Years later, Greece faced a major financial crisis. The sheer number of these predictions is eyebrow-raising. With over 30 seasons, The Simpsons has covered a lot of ground. Statistically, it's bound to get some things right just by chance. Enzo Ferrari, the visionary behind those sleek, powerful sports cars. His name is synonymous with speed and luxury. In 1988, the world mourned as Enzo Ferrari passed away. Just 2 months later, Mesut Ozil was born. They look strikingly alike. Reincarnation, a soul reborn. The resemblance is uncanny. Friends, we've talked about eerie connections, but this one's practically written in the stars. Founding fathers, Thomas Jefferson and John Adams, you couldn't script a more contentious relationship. They battled it out intellectually, politically, you name it. But here's the cosmic curveball. Both men, these titans of American history, died on the very same day, July 4th, 1826. And not just any July 4th, mind you. This was the 50th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence, a document they both risked their lives to bring into existence. I deal in facts, evidence, the laws that govern the universe. But sometimes, even I have to admit, the universe throws you a curveball so perfect, so poetic, that you can't help but wonder if there's a grander design at play. Was it destiny, pure chance, or just a reminder that even in the face of the vast cosmic arena, human lives, even those as different as Jefferson and Adams, can be bound together by forces we may never fully comprehend? Alright folks, buckle up. We're diving back into the Lincoln-Kennedy rabbit hole. We've already explored the uncanny similarities in their assassinations. But the coincidences don't stop there. Oh no, the universe had one more trick up its sleeve. Both Lincoln and Kennedy were succeeded by vice presidents named Johnson. I mean, what are the odds? This isn't just drawing a royal flush. This is like shuffling the deck 1,000 times and drawing the same hand twice. Now you might say, Neil, there have been a lot of presidents and a lot of vice presidents. Surely this is just random chance. And you'd be right to question it. But the sheer improbability of this specific detail, on top of all the other parallels, makes you wonder if there's more to this story than meets the eye. Is it a statistical anomaly, a glitch in the matrix, or is there something more, something that defies our current understanding of cause and effect? The jury, my friends, is still out, is still... We've all heard those incredible stories of twins separated at birth, only to be reunited later in life with shocking similarities. But this one really takes the cosmic cake. 2 baby boys born in Ohio, separated at birth. grow up completely unaware of the other's existence. Then, at age 39, fate intervenes. They meet, and that's when the echoes start. Both men had been named James by their adoptive families. Both married women named Linda. Both got divorced. Both then found love again, this time with women named Betty. And if that's not enough, hold on to your hats, folks. Both had sons, named James Allan. Now I understand the power of genetics, but this goes beyond inherited traits. This is life choices echoing across the years as if guided by an invisible script. Is it nature or nurture, coincidence or cosmic connection? This story forces us to confront the very nature of individuality and the invisible threads that might bind us together. Friends of the cosmos, we often talk about astronomical odds, right? Consider the incredible story of Tsutomu Yamaguchi. Yamaguchi, a Japanese engineer, was on a business trip to Hiroshima in 1945. He was just 2 miles from ground zero when the atomic bomb detonated. Later, in Nagasaki, Yamaguchi was once again caught in the blast radius of another atomic bomb. He survived both bombings, entering history as the double bomb survivor. Now let's journey to a place that's captivated imaginations for decades. A region shrouded in mystery and maritime lore, the Bermuda Triangle. This area, roughly encompassing Miami, Bermuda, and Puerto Rico, has seen a disproportionate number of unexplained disappearances of ships and aircraft. Some point to rogue waves, magnetic anomalies, or even underwater methane eruptions as explanations. And sure, those are scientifically sound possibilities. But the sheer number of incidents, the lack of wreckage in some cases, it fuels speculation of forces beyond our understanding. Could there be some strange distortion of space-time, a portal to another dimension? Look, I'm a scientist. I deal in evidence and observation. And right now, the evidence points to natural phenomena, however improbable. But the Bermuda Triangle serves as a reminder of how much we still don't know about our own planet, about the universe itself. It's a vast, enigmatic ocean out there, folks, and some mysteries may never fully be solved. Sometimes the universe throws us coincidences that are downright chilling. On July 28, 1945, a B-25 bomber crashed into the Empire State Building. Fast forward 56 years to the exact date, July 28, 2001. Another plane crashed into a building in New York City. The echo of that date, July 28th, makes you pause, doesn't it? All right, conspiracy theorists, get ready. In March 2001, an episode of The Lone Gunman was broadcast. It depicted a plot to crash a plane into the World Trade Center. 6 months later, the 9/11's attacks occurred. Coincidence? Life imitating art in the most tragic way imaginable? Let's journey back to 18th century France, where King Louis XVI reigned, seemingly oblivious to the revolution simmering beneath his rule. An astrologer had forewarned him about the 21st of each month, claiming it to be a harbinger of disaster. And wouldn't you know it, a series of unfortunate events seemed to align with this ominous date. On January 21, 1793, Louis XVI met his fate at the guillotine. The very date he had come to dread marked his tragic end. Fast cars, Hollywood glamour, and a tragic end. The story of James Dean is a recipe for legend. But the tale takes an even more intriguing turn with his Porsche 550 Spider, nicknamed Little Bastard. After Dean's fatal crash in 1955, the car became the subject of unsettling incidents. Parts salvaged from the wrecked Porsche were used in other vehicles, and those vehicles met with accidents, some fatal. Naturally, whispers of a curse began to circulate. Had the tragic aura of James Dean's demise seeped into his Porsche, or were these incidents simply unfortunate circumstances? The Titanic, a name synonymous with tragedy. But did you know this infamous ship had a near-identical twin? The Olympic, built alongside the Titanic, shared its majestic design and grand scale. Now, hold on to your cosmic hats because here's where it gets interesting. Just a year before the Titanic's demise, the Olympic experienced its own encounter with an iceberg. Yes, you heard that right. While the Olympic managed to stay afloat, the collision left its mark, literally. The damage sustained by the Olympic was eerily similar to that which brought down the Titanic. Was this a bizarre coincidence? A twist of fate? Or could there be something more to these maritime misfortunes? We'll delve deeper into the mysteries of the deep in just a bit. Stay tuned. History has a peculiar way of repeating itself, especially when it comes to arrogance and icy battlefields. Napoleon Bonaparte, the self-declared Emperor of France, aimed to conquer Russia in 1812. His Grande Armée, a formidable force of over 600,000 men, marched eastward only to be thwarted by the merciless Russian winter. The outcome? A disastrous retreat, decimated by freezing temperatures, starvation, and relentless Russian assaults. Fast forward 129 years, and another ambitious leader, Adolf Hitler, decided to challenge fate by invading Russia. Like Napoleon before him, Hitler underestimated the ferocity of the Russian winter. Operation Barbarossa, Hitler's grand offensive, stalled in the snowdrifts, echoing Napoleon's disastrous campaign. Is this merely a case of history repeating itself, or is there a deeper pattern to this winter warfare? Perhaps the universe has a way of reminding us that even the mightiest armies are no match for the forces of nature. Even amidst the glitz and glamour of Hollywood, coincidences can unfold that seem orchestrated by the universe itself. Sir Anthony Hopkins, celebrated for his chilling role as Hannibal Lecter, found himself entangled in a real-life literary enigma. Hopkins was cast in a film adaptation of a novel titled The Girl of Petrovka. To prepare for his role, he embarked on a quest to find a copy of the book, a rare gem indeed. Destiny, it seems, had other plans. While browsing a used bookstore, Hopkins stumbled upon a discarded copy of The Girl of Petrovka. Imagine his surprise, but the tale doesn't end there. Astonishingly, the book contained handwritten notes in the margins. Hopkins later discovered that these notes were penned by none other than the book's author himself. Talk about a cosmic connection. It seems the universe has a knack for bringing people and things together in the most unexpected ways. Okay folks, buckle up for this one. It's 1930 in London, bustling with iconic double-decker buses. One man gets struck by one. He recovers. A year passes. The same bus, same driver, strikes him again. This time he doesn't survive. What are the chances? Extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. This is about probability. This defies odds, questioning the fabric of coincidence. The London bus. Coincidence reminds us the universe can surprise us. World War I redrew the maps of Europe and left scars that linger to this day. Millions fought and perished in the trenches. In a quiet corner of a cemetery in France, two graves stand as a poignant testament. These graves belong to the first and last British soldiers killed in World War I, the very first and the very last, brought together in death, separated by mere feet of earth. Their headstones face each other, almost as if engaged in a silent dialogue across time. We humans, we love patterns, connections. We see constellations in the stars, faces in the clouds. Consider the Mayflower, the iconic ship that carried the Pilgrims to America, and the Titanic, the unsinkable ocean liner that met a tragic end. Two ships, separated by centuries, yet bound by an eerie coincidence. Both vessels had passengers with the same name who perished during their voyages. Marvel at the interconnectedness of events, the echoes of history that ripple through time. Alright everyone, get ready because this one is truly spine-chilling. In 1976, a poster for the King Kong remake appeared on the streets, and it showed the giant ape clinging to, you guessed it, the Twin Towers. That image alone is enough to make you stop and think, right? But there's more. The poster also has airplanes buzzing around Kong, eerily similar to the tragic events of 9/11. As a scientist, I rely on facts and evidence, but the visual similarity here is undeniable and, quite frankly, unsettling. Could this be a strange premonition, or are we just connecting dots that aren't really there? Our brains are wired to find patterns, even when none exist. This phenomenon is called apophenia. But sometimes, even the most rational mind encounters a coincidence so stark, it makes you question everything you thought you knew. Share your thoughts in the comments because this one has me truly baffled. We've discussed the Titanic, but this tale delves even deeper into the realm of the uncanny. 14 years before the Titanic's tragic voyage, a novelist named Morgan Robertson wrote a story called Futility, or The Wreck of the Titan. Sound familiar? Robertson's fictional ocean liner, the Titan, was described as unsinkable, much like its real-life counterpart. And just like the Titanic, the Titan met its end after striking an iceberg in the North Atlantic. Chilling, right? But here's where it gets even stranger. Both ships had remarkably similar designs and a shocking shortage of lifeboats, resulting in significant loss of life. Did Robertson have some kind of precognitive insight, or is this an astonishing case of life imitating art? Some argue it's merely a matter of probability. After all, ship designs don't change drastically overnight, but the numerous parallels between the fictional and real-life disasters are enough to make even the most skeptical among us wonder. What do you think? Let us know. We've explored eerie coincidences, but some have a unique kind of symmetry. Consider the Great Fire of London in 1666. It ignited in a bakery on Pudding Lane. The monument to the Great Fire of London stands tall as a testament. It's 202 feet from the bakery site. And the monument is also 202 feet tall. Coincidence? Maybe. Ancient Egypt, a land of pharaohs, pyramids, and powerful curses. When Howard Carter unearthed the tomb of Tutankhamun in 1922, whispers of a curse spread. Legend held that those who disturbed the pharaoh's rest would face a swift and terrible fate. Lord Carnarvon, the financial backer, died from an infected mosquito bite. Others connected to the discovery met untimely ends. Was it the curse of the pharaoh, or simply a series of unfortunate coincidences? And there you have it, 30 historical coincidences that defy all odds and make us question the very nature of chance. Are these just random occurrences, mere statistical anomalies in the grand tapestry of time? Or is there something more at play, some unseen hand guiding the threads of fate? We humans have a natural tendency to find patterns, to seek connections, even where none may exist. It's in our DNA, this drive to understand, to make sense of the world around us. But sometimes, the universe throws us a curveball, a series of events so improbable, so eerily coincidental, that it forces us to confront the limits of our understanding. So, the next time you find yourself face to face with an uncanny coincidence, don't be afraid to embrace the mystery of it all, because in the grand cosmic scheme of things, it's often the questions that linger long after the answers have faded away. Keep looking.